Hi friends, I'm Michelle with Quality Boats here in Clearwater, Florida, and this is the Grady-White 456 Canyon. Stick with me, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of this beautiful flagship by Grady. The Grady-White 456 Canyon has a length overall of 45 feet, a 14-foot beam. She comes in just under 32,000 pounds, cruises at 30 miles per hour with your top speed around 58, and at cruise, the range is approximately 380 miles. Such a nice feature on the Grady-White 456. You have dual side boarding doors, tuna doors, dive doors, whatever you want to call it, however you want to use it. This is an example of the dive ladder deployed here. So you can use this on either side, port or starboard. And then back here, they have this kind of nice emergency ladder. If for some reason you don't have access to that, you have this for backup. Here on the transom of the 456 Canyon, you have 4 of the latest, greatest, biggest, most powerful horsepower Yamaha engines. These are the 450s. So behind this beast, you've got 1,400 horsepower. And then while we're here, I also want to point out that standard on the 456 Canyon are the zip wake. These are really cool. They're an auto leveling trim system. So just kind of takes the guesswork out of keeping that boat steady. But you know what? She's a Grady. She's a 456. She's going to ride really smooth anyway. Back here in the aft cockpit of the Grady-White 456 Canyon, this is a beamy boat. We've got 14 feet across. Back here on the transom, you have dual live wells, port and starboard, 35 gallons apiece. And then here, the fish box, it is coil wrapped and insulated with its own thermostat. So this huge fish box can be used as a refrigerator or a freezer. You adjust the temperature to however you want to use it. But it's nice, it's divided here. You could even do, some bait, or you could do cocktails. You can do ice, beers, food, however you want to use it for the day. Of course, you have the cup holders. Everything on this boat is upgraded stainless steel. It's 316 stainless. Means it's going to stand up a little bit better to corrosion in salt water and salty environments. That's by design, by Grady-White. Even the cup holders thoughtfully are plumbed to drain overboard, so you don't have to worry about water collecting inside the cup holders. And then also over here for convenience, you have your freshwater shower, and it's got its own thermostat too. Of course, you can do hot or cold or warm, however you want to shower, because it has a water heater on board. So while we're back here, I want to point out the electric sure shade. All these features are standard on the 456 Canyon, very few options. This boat comes fully equipped. And then here, this is an electronic footrest for when you and your guests are relaxing, watching the lines in the water, or just kicking back. Here you have air conditioning. Who doesn't need that on a hot day? I could use it. So in the here cup holders, and then port and starboard, you also have your summer kitchen. So let me go ahead and point that out to you. Here on the starboard side of the boat, you have your electric Kenyan grill and refrigerator. These are the controls for the grill right here. What else do we have here? Oh yes, your dedicated trash compartment. And then I also want to point out that we have a cutting board on both sides, port and starboard, so you don't have to cross-contaminate if you're doing bait on one side, food prep, maybe margarita prep on the other side. But here on this port side, you have your sink, you have a retractable shower, sink freshwater sprayer, has its own thermostat there. You have 6 individual extra wide and deep storage drawers, and again, that cutting board I mentioned before. Here we have the under gunnel rod storage, and don't forget the tow rail. Rod storage here in the gunnel as well. And then how could I forget one of the most important things on a fishing boat are the live wells. So I mentioned the 35 gallon, but here is the port live well. Has a built-in plenum, so that's going to aerate and circulate the bait to keep it nice and frisky. Back here in the aft cockpit of the Grady-White 456 Canyon is where she really shines as the ultimate fishing machine. So you may have noticed in some of the other shots, we have these rocket launchers mounted here to the hardtop, and then also the hardtop supports. You have outriggers. This boat is equipped with the outriggers, a 22-foot Gemlux outriggers. And then here we have storage drawers, utility drawers for your tools, for rigging your lures and things like that. And then of course some tackle storage. And then over here to my right on the starboard side of the boat, that's a heavy duty latch, folks. You have another insulated cooler. It is plumbed to drain overboard, so this is a great place to keep those cold beverages when you're back here fishing like a machine. You have aft-facing speakers, hard top lights, and then Grady-White is also very thoughtful. They give you a nice place to store your life jackets, your personal flotation devices. If, God forbid, you need them, they're right overhead where you want them. You don't want them tucked away somewhere where you don't have access to them. So then here we have this beautifully well-appointed helm. Now you may notice that there aren't any electronics installed, no GPS just yet. Grady-White lets you select, customize what you want to do. So they don't do any factory installation as far as your GPS goes. But here you have the latest and greatest binnacle and joystick, automatic autopilot here, your zip wake, which I mentioned before. These are going to be an auto trim tab system. You can also control it manually here as well. And then you do have the Yamaha CL5. So this is going to be a little mini screen. It's actually made by Garmin, and that's going to give you all of your engine statistics and things. That information will also communicate with your, we say Garmin because we use Garmin here, with your screens. So then you have C-Zone, which is your control for all of your power for the boat, AC and DC. You'll have options to turn things on and off here. 4-button push start. I was pointing to that before. That is your push start. This is your autopilot, and here is control from the windlass here at the helm, and then some of your switches like the sunroof, the sure shade, and then you also have vents here, port and starboard, which is nice. Now we have a nice breeze. So speaking of breeze, you have air-conditioned helm here. These are nice. You can turn if there's a guest standing beside you. They can get a little bit of AC as well. You have also AC under the seats. Beautiful 4 quad helm seats here on the Grady-White 456, so everyone can sit comfortably. Each seat has electronic adjust forward and aft, so you can sit as close as you want to the helm. We have individual footrests as well, and of course armrests. Flip up, flip down, however you want to ride. Welcome to where the magic happens. The cabin, the galley, all the good stuff happens down here. Well, except for when you're catching that big game, it is happening out there. But welcome down below to this beautiful, spacious cabin in the Grady-White 456 Canyon. It is unlike any other. This is the largest center console in its class. And I tell you what, this cabin is so nicely well equipped, from the C-Zone that controls all of your power, your AC and DC. And then also, of course, you have here your breaker panel for all the AC when you're on shore power or generator. You also have controls of the cabin air conditioning and the helm AC here. And then also controls of the sea chest, sea cocks as well. Right directly below, we have a nice spacious cedar-lined closet and some hooks to hang those longer items on. If you have a dress, ladies, or jackets, things like that, bags, towels can be hung there as well. So, and I love the smell of that fresh cedar. Keep everything nice and crisp. And then here in the galley, we have Corian countertops on both sides. We have hardwood cabinets here. They latch down below, and they're not going to fall, which is really nice. And as you can see, they have lighting inside as well, and these little thoughtful rails to keep your plates and dishes and anything you have up in the cabinet in place. So I love that. And while we're here, we also have this beautiful mother of pearl backsplash. And like I mentioned, the Corian hard, non-porous countertop. And this is even such a thoughtful piece here. So you can put a bottle of wine, your wine glasses, or bottle brushes here as well. So that's removable. And then you also have a cutting board that can be in place there too. So another thoughtful thing, you've probably seen this before, but maybe you haven't. On this flat top Canyon cooktop, we have these little pop-up buttons that will hold pots and pans in place when you're underway, or just if the boat's rocking, but it's probably not going to rock much because it has a standard seakeeper. So again, there are just rod holders and extra rod storage everywhere because we know that this is a boat for dedicated fisher family. So tucked away really cleverly here and under here is another spot to put some rods and reels. While I'm down here, I'll go ahead and show you. We have 2 drawers. They're both nice and spacious and deep. So you've got plenty of room for your utensils, your essentials. And then this is the microwave / convection oven. Here we are at the dining table. So dining table, charcuterie, cocktails, cards, whatever, however you want to enjoy this space. It is lovely to come down here, enjoy a little AC, maybe a little escape from the elements in the climate controlled cabin. Down below, both port and starboard, these also, by the way, they become your loungers. So part of the bed, which we'll show you, but down below on each side you have storage. And then there's also more storage here as well, and also access to some of the machinery down below. So this is a great space, and don't forget your HDMI smart TV for those evenings you want to just relax and maybe catch a game. So this also converts into your berth. So your nice, I think it's pretty much king size bed. As I mentioned before, you have these backrests, so it's already set up to lounge. It's nice and comfy, and this is really soft, like ultra leather. On the port side, you also have more rod storage, and then back around the corner, you have a marine safe touchscreen. I'm sorry, you have a marine touchscreen safe. So if you want to keep any valuables, maybe some extra cash, maybe a gun, I don't know, it's up to you, but you have a place to lock it up, keep it safe. Look at how spacious this is, guys. And no shoes on the bed, not allowed, but plenty of room to lounge out. I have a customer who's 6'4", and he can stretch out and sleep comfortably. I'm 5'9", so there's plenty of room here. And I also wanted to show you quickly about this extra feature I forgot to mention for this rod storage. It actually slides out so you can lift up and put your rods and reels here as well. Keep them in place and tuck it away. Boat hair don't care, but if you do, this is a place to get freshened up. This is the beautiful, well-equipped head compartment on the 456 Canyon, just in case you forgot what boat we're on. Here we have a nice vanity and medicine cabinet for all of your toiletries. You've got your nice side lighting as well. You have, again, a nice hard surface countertop, flat Corian countertop. Even these thoughtful little compartments built in here, toothbrush holders, toothpaste, all that good stuff. And then plenty of room down here, down below the sink as well, and a dedicated trash receptacle. You have a nice electric flush head, and it also has flush overboard ability. So you have a holding tank, and then you also have the flush overboard ability in case you are far enough offshore and you want to go ahead and dump that tank, you can do that. And then over here, this is one of the most clever designs I've ever seen. So this door hides the shower facility. So it slides out and slides over. There's a magnet to keep it in place. And now you have your shower. You have that nice teak grate down below. And this door keeps the vanity and the head dry. So both starboard and port, you have that undergunnel rod storage with the tow rails for hauling in that big catch. You have lockable rod storage here for those more expensive rods and reels that you want to keep protected if you keep things on board. And then moving forward, you have some nice cabin windows, and then a big sun pad with individual armrests, cup holders, safety grab rails, more rod holders here. I mean, you just have access to everything that you need. This is a great place. This is a fun spot where everybody's going to be hanging out when you're out for a pleasure cruise. And then a nice feature here are these manually movable backrests. They're really heavy duty, and you can put them in different positions. And that's just nice and out of the way. And then when you have it folded forward, you have a forward-facing and aft-facing backrest. So someone can chill here and talk to their friends over on the sun pad, or over here sitting further forward in the bow. You may have noticed these tables. So these are also electronically actuated, just like the cabin table. And what this does is it goes up to have cocktails and your picnic on the water, and then it lowers all the way down. So now you take the cushions off, and then you have a nice big casting platform. So that's a multifunctional bow. This is, I mean, I keep saying it, the best seat in the house, but if I were out on the water in this beautiful Grady, this is exactly where I would be sitting, most of the day at least. So you can see when we lower the tables down and put the filler cushions in, we have dual, nice, big, long sun pad lounges. So very, very comfortable, nice and deep. You're in the boat. You have a safety grab rail here, should you feel like you need it. And then padded coaming, I mean, it's just really comfortable. And these cushions are nice and thick and plush. The upholstery is beautiful. I mean, it's just exquisite. And another conversion of the bow. So we've removed all the cushions so you can see the individual compartments. On the port side, you have 2 insulated storage boxes that can be used as coolers or as storage. So a larger one aft, smaller insulated. Again, everything is plumb to drain overboard, so we love that. And also, while I have this open, notice these tracks. So this is going to help prevent water from pooling if it gets wet up here. Then you put that away, latch it down. Casting platform to the port side, and then over here on the starboard side, you have access to a nice big long cooler, actually. Fish box storage, maybe for some of those longer items like the carbon fiber poles for the sunshade that we have deployed right now. Thank goodness, because it's September, almost September. It's hot. It is still very hot. So super heavy duty, and now you can also see a nice big area for fishing. So here at the bow, we make anchoring very simple with the Lumar windlass. It's the electronic anchor pulley, and then you have a through stem launch for your anchor as well. Safety lanyard, of course, or you tie your line there. And then here are the controls for deploy and retrieve anchor. You can also do this function from the Helm as well, but you know, it's nice to be able to have access to it here. And again, nice heavy duty latch, heavy duty fiberglass. And this is actually a little access so you can get up to the anchor and the windlass more easily. And then that hatch right there is in case your lines get tangled, your rode for your anchor. So nice and convenient. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is the best seat in the house. The truth is you can't go wrong. Every seat is going to be comfortable here on this exquisite, exquisite flagship, Grady-White. Right before you turn your batteries off, one of the last things you'll do is flush your engines. They've made that nice and simple too. You just use your quick connect on your hose right here, press the button, and it'll flush all 4 of those 456s. I hope I've covered everything. There's a lot to cover, but keep in mind, most of those details are actually standard on this boat, but if you have any questions, I'm here to help you. I would love to get you out on the water on this Grady-White 456. My name's Michelle Steves. I'm with Quality Boats in Clearwater. Thanks for watching.